Hi, welcome to the live stream. So my name's Jabine, and I'm a channel of Archangel Raphael. And in this live stream, Raphael will come through me and speak and share appropriate messages for the week ahead, any messages for this moment, according to who's listening and who will be afterwards, and maybe do a clearing as well. So yeah, just going to let him come through and speak. I would like you to know that I speak on behalf of many messengers. I am speaking to convey messages, but also to give healing and wellness. What I see at the moment is a lot of discordant energy around. No one is feeling fully well. And as a result of this, when I come in, I do what I can to help people, move them onwards very fast from whatever they are experiencing. The pain of living is often much more than the joy. And the reason I'm saying this is because there has been a lot of chaos until now on earth. And actually, for a lot of people, the pain has been more than the joy and happiness they experience. What I will say is that pain is not really always a sign of being in the wrong when it comes to where you are in yourself. It is not a sign of making a mistake, even. It is a sign that something is not right, a sign that perhaps other people are not in alignment, or perhaps the whole system around you. What I'm really trying to say is that there is only so much you can do in order to avoid pain, to stay in a state of joy and wellness. But sometimes there are things that happen which are beyond your control, that cause you pain, heartache, immense suffering. And what I will say is that do not ever believe that what you experience is of your making, because occasionally it is. Sometimes, for some people, it is mainly of their own making because of their mistakes, their patterns, their misunderstanding about life. But it is not always the case. It is good for you to embrace whatever you feel, to not try to escape it, because escaping your own inner pain is one reason people make a lot of mistakes. Because people are afraid of being alone, they end up with the wrong people. Because people are afraid and find it painful to experience their own sense of self or lack of it, they end up with the wrong people in order to escape themselves. What I will say is avoiding pain is one of the major causes of suffering, the unnecessary ones, I mean. So when you are looking at your life, examine closely the places where you may be avoiding feeling your own pain, so you do not create more suffering for yourself later on. I will say this message applies to each and every one of you hearing this. It may be a simple habit, such as drinking coffee in order to avoid feeling something. It may be another kind of habit you have of seeking out company when you are feeling alone, rather than embracing the aloneness and then automatically being with people because you feel like it, not because you are feeling alone. It may be something else, such as avoiding your pain by simply zoning out, going off into other realms. What I'm really saying is look at your habits, and then what you can do is change something so you feel more deeply what is really going on. I would also like to caution some of you hearing this that this is not really the time to start examining other people and what is going on for them, because whatever may be going on for them changes all the time. So one minute it is this, and then it is that, because everyone is purging so much. So there is no point coming to any conclusions at the moment about anyone. It is best to focus on yourself and see where this takes you. My final message to you about what you need to do differently is to remember that you are not really required to be there for anyone other than in a professional capacity. So, whatever you offer to the world as your service, then of course you are required to be there for people in a professional setting. And actually, this is very good for you and other people. But if you are not a service provider, if you are simply living your life for yourself, you do not have to give to anyone, certainly at the moment anyway. I will say, perhaps later on, it is a time to remember that in whatever situation you are in, there is something you have to offer, something that will come through you spontaneously. But at the moment is a time to be with yourselves, your own feelings, your own processes. That is what I see. I would like to share now more information about the Earth and what is going on. There is not really a lot of clarity with people at the moment. Some people believe one thing and other people another, and some people don't really know what to think. And what I will say is that there is a certain level of truth that you can attune to, and then after that, simply see what happens. When it comes to the planet generally, there is no such thing as things staying the same. And when I say this, I'm speaking about systems, governments, the way nations are run. Everything will change. And at the moment, what is going on is people are waking up. They are starting to realize that something is a bit suspicious, that suddenly things change and then they change again, and then something else happens and things change. What I am saying is that there is no consistency. And then some people are noticing that things don't quite add up in other ways. So there are a lot of reported cases of COVID, but then there are other people who are saying that actually people who are meant to have this illness and have actually died of other things, or there has been something else which has happened. What I'm really wanting you to recognize is that it is true that something does not add up, that it is not your imagination, that things are not making any sense. And behind all this, it is absolutely true that there are other agendas. And I would like to be absolutely clear with all of you that the only way that you will get through this is by staying in your own energy and your own awareness, because otherwise you will be swept to and fro from one way of doing things to another, and it won't make sense and it will confuse you. So it is good to stay with your own awareness, with what you want to do, what feels right to you. And if you are feeling, if in any way to do something, you do it. Certainly, if you can. And if you can't, then find a way round it and do it anyway. What I'm really trying to say is that you do not need to be policed. It is important to stay in your own light, in what feels good to you. And if you genuinely believe and feel something to be the right thing to do, it is important to do it. Because what I see is that otherwise, over time, you will find your life becomes less and less what you would like it to be. I am trying to say that what you are all being guided to do by your higher selves is to stay with who you are inside and carry on as you feel to, and find ways round restrictions. So if you cannot do something one way, do it another way. That is what I see a lot of people have been doing anyway. But I am encouraging you to keep doing it this way. I also will say that because of what you are all going through, it is really necessary to have contact with people from time to time, to have your needs met, to be receiving what is right for you to move forwards. So remember this, that some contact is necessary, and through this you will have what you need. I would like to share some more information now, and that is because of the way the world is changing. Some people are responding in a very antagonistic way. They are starting to feel angry, frustrated, some people for the wrong reasons. So, what I will say is be careful when you are around people. Be, be aware that some people are quite angry, and keep your distance from people who seem very antagonistic towards others, because otherwise you may find yourself in situations you do not want to be in. That is what I see. I would like to comment a little now about what is going on in terms of race and discrimination. What I will say is that it is important to bear in mind that when people speak up, it is because there is something that they are not happy about. And when whole groups of people speak up, if they are not heard, things do get very nasty. I will say that although there is an element of other agendas coming in to what is going on, it is mainly because the Black people, particularly in the US, feel very, very much that they are constantly under surveillance, and they are constantly being, in one way or another, wrongly accused of things simply for going about their day to day lives. And I would like to say that this is absolutely the case. And we are in favour of drastic reform now. So, what I would like to say is, regardless of other agendas which have come in, it is very important to be heard for this group of people. And it is important to know that there is a real cause behind this of concern. And if this is not heard now, things will get much worse later on. What I'm guiding all of you to do is to be, in one way or another, sensitive to the current climate, to understand that there is something behind all this, and the energy is predominantly good. It is important for all of you to have peace and justice and fairness in your personal lives. And in the same way, it is important to have this in communities, in race as well. It is important that there is always something that is fair for everyone. And if it is not, something does need to change. And we are fully supporting this. What we say to all of you is to stay in your own energy. If you feel to contribute something positive, you can. If there is anything you want to share yourselves about personal experiences, about things you have witnessed, about your feelings, sentiments, do it. But do not feel you have to. But remember that there is something very positive happening at the moment, generally in the world, where there is something that will be balanced finally. And this will bring a lot of harmony and wellness to everyone. There will be a lot less tension, because one of the reasons there has been racial discrimination is because there has been a lot of prejudice against Black people, and therefore they feel discriminated against. And then what happens is that they are not feeling that they are really a valued part of life. So then they are more likely to do things which are not in alignment, which are not helpful to other people. So then there is more discrimination because there are certain tendencies. But the real problem is the discrimination in the first place. So people often do not see these things, and they may say, well, there is evidence that this particular group may be more prone to being involved in crime and doing things which are unlawful. However, people are not looking beneath the surface and seeing why. And it is all for the same reason, because there has been discrimination in the first place. I am guiding all of you to always look deeper into situations, to see things clearly before making your mind up, to really let go of simply believing what you are told by the media. And there are some people who are then going completely the other way and believing all this to be scandalous. But it is important to really see why people are feeling upset, to look into it and see if there is a real story behind it, which there is. I am commenting on this because it is important. It is important for us who are in spirit and aware of many things to let you know what we see so that you can feel into it for yourselves. I would like to say a few more things now, and that is when you are really addressing any sort of discrimination in life, it is important to always include yourself. I see that each and every person feels discriminated against in one way or another. Sometimes it is because you are a certain way inclined, because perhaps you are a little bit unusual in how you are. For some people, it is because they are perhaps more outspoken than others. For others, it is because they are quieter and perhaps less likely to speak up. But everybody has this in one way or another. And as you address this issue within you of feeling discriminated against for one thing or another, you will feel more compassionate towards others as well. I would like to share some messages for the week ahead. There is no such thing as really at the moment needing to do anything but to simply stay in your own energy and see where this takes you, and to stay grounded as well in your own light. And what I mean by this is to go within and access the light that is within you, so that you are constantly changing certain habitual ways of being. After this, you will automatically know what to do, where to go, and who to be with. What I'm saying to all of you is that this is a time of dismantling old ways of doing things, old ways of being, and stepping into the new. So I am saying to each one of you, do not really try to do anything. Just be and stay in your energy and your light and see where this takes you. Whatever you need to do, of course, to do, but other things let go of and see what happens. Finally, I would like to remind you that you are all heading towards a new start. Even those of you who are quite happy with your current life are going to have new beginnings, because it is happening for everyone in the whole world. It is important to look at your life and see what you like, what you really would like to remain there, and what you are happy to let go of or allow to change over time, and then see what happens. Because at the moment, life supports change, a lot of it. That is all. I have no more to say. However, Before I finish, I would like to give you some healing and help you. So, for a few minutes, simply be still, and I am going to work on clearing some energy away. I am going to focus on active past lives and clear them away. Anything in you which is activated from other lives, and these are life themes. Be still, and I will do this. I would like you to know that the Lords of Karma are working on you, and I am also inviting in Metatron to clear this from where it started. So the themes from the first life and incident, you have experienced them. I would like you to know that this is complete. Yeah, so thank you for listening, everyone, and hope you enjoyed this and benefited from it. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have anything to say. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe if you want to, and press the notifications, to be alerted when the next videos are up and live streams. And yeah, and if anyone wanted to support this channel, below in the description, there's a button where you can donate if you wanted to. And yeah, so thank you very much for listening, and have a lovely week. Thank you.